Hello, my wonderful friends. Dr. Mandell here. If you're over the age of 60, this message is for you. We live in a world where taking more vitamins often feels like the solution to every health problem. But here's something most people don't realize. Not all vitamins are good for you, especially as you age. Today, I want to talk to you about something that might surprise you. The two worst vitamins that could be secretly weakening your legs, affecting your balance, coordination, and making you prone to dangerous falls. My friends, I want to talk to you today about something that's not only misunderstood, but it's dangerous, especially if you're over the age of 60. Now, this is something I've seen over and over again in my years of working with seniors, and I say this with nothing but love and concern in my heart. Is this about vitamin A? Yes, vitamin A. The same vitamin we've been told is good for our eyes, our skin, and our immune system. And while that's absolutely true, too much vitamin A can be toxic. And if you're a senior, your risk is even higher. You could be taking something every single day that you think is protecting you, when in reality, it's silently weakening your bones, damaging your muscles, and stealing the strength from your legs. Let that sink in. I want to explain exactly what's going on in your body, because understanding this could be the difference between walking tall and confident, or struggling with every step, living in fear of falling, losing your balance, or worse, your independence. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin A comes in different forms. There's preformed vitamin A like retinol, retinol acetate, and retinol palmitate. These are the kinds you'll find in multivitamins, fish liver oils, and fortified foods. Then there's provitamin A carotenoids like beta-carotene, which come from fruits and vegetables. Your body can convert those into vitamin A, but only as needed. The issue: when you take high doses of preformed vitamin A, you can overload your liver, and that's where the problems begin. See, your liver stores vitamin A, and as we age, the liver becomes less efficient at processing and eliminating excess amounts. So if you're taking a multivitamin every day, maybe some cod liver oil for your joints, and you eat fortified foods on top of that, you could be piling up way more vitamin A than your body can handle. Now you might ask, what does that have to do with my legs, Dr. Mandell? Well, everything. Excessive vitamin A intake has been shown to accelerate bone loss. That's right. It interferes with vitamin D, and we all know how important vitamin D is for bone strength. When vitamin A is too high, it can reduce bone mineral density, making bones brittle, fragile, and more prone to fractures. And here's where it hits even harder for seniors. When your bones weaken, your posture changes, your spine compresses, your balance shifts, and your leg muscles start to work harder just to keep you upright. Over time, that extra effort leads to fatigue, cramps, and muscle atrophy, particularly in the thighs, hips, and calves. So what happens next? You start to notice little things. Your legs feel heavy. You don't sit walk as long as you used to. You get winded on the stairs. You're grabbing onto walls and railings for balance. You chalk it up to aging. But my friend, it could be your vitamins. Now, studies from major health institutions have shown that seniors who consume more than 1.5 milligrams, 5,000 IU of preformed vitamin A per day are at greater risk of hip fractures and loss of muscle mass. This isn't some fringe theory. It's well documented in scientific literature. And here's the worst part: these symptoms don't show up overnight. Vitamin A toxicity is a slow process. You don't feel it creeping up on you. It takes months or even years before the signs start to appear. By the time your legs are weak and your bones are fragile, the damage may already be done. But I'm here to tell you, it's not too late to take back control. Let's talk solutions. First, stop blindly taking high-dose multivitamins unless your doctor specifically told you to. Many popular brands contain more than double the recommended daily amount of vitamin A, and it's not necessary. You are not deficient in vitamin A unless you have a medical condition or a severely restricted diet. Instead, shift your focus to whole food sources. Eat more colorful vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. These foods contain beta-carotene, which your body safely converts to vitamin A only when needed. Your body is smart. It won't overdose on nutrients from real food. And if you're still concerned about your vitamin A levels, you can always ask your physician for a simple blood test. They can check your serum retinol levels and see if you're still running too high. This is especially important if you're experiencing frequent leg cramps, weakness or muscle fatigue, fragile bones, poor balance or dizziness, night vision changes. These could all be warning signs. Now listen closely to this because it might just change the way you see your health. Just because something is labeled a vitamin doesn't mean it sits good for you in excess. After 60, your body needs precision, not guesswork. You want strong legs, you want to stay mobile, independent, and pain-free. That's the goal. But if your supplements are silently working against you, you got to step back and reassess. I've worked with thousands of patients and I've seen transformations happen when people remove what's hurting them, not just when they add more. My goal is not to scare you, but to empower you. You have the power to change your future. It starts by being informed. It starts by asking the right questions. It starts by listening to your body and choosing natural, balanced sources of nutrition. Let's not forget, falling is one of the leading causes of injury in seniors. And most falls aren't because of slippery floors or weak eyes. They're because of weak legs, poor posture, and brittle bones. All of these can be impacted by what you're putting into your body. So today, my friends, I challenge you, go check your multivitamin label, look for retinol palmitate or retinol. If it's there and it's giving you more than 100% of the daily recommended value, it may be time to switch or eliminate it altogether. Talk to your doctor, reevaluate your supplements, focus on nutrient-rich, colorful foods, drink plenty of water, move your body daily. You deserve to walk with strength, to rise from a chair without struggling, to live without fear of falling. Your legs are your foundation, and protecting them starts with something as simple as knowing what's in your vitamin bottle. Now listen closely, because today we're going to uncover something few people know and even fewer doctors talk about. It's something that may be hiding in your daily supplements right now. It's one of the most misunderstood nutrients out there, and if you're over the age of 60, it could be silently weakening your legs, damaging your nerves, and slowly taking away your mobility without you even realizing it. Now, I'm talking about vitamin E. Now you might be thinking, wait, Dr. Mandell, isn't vitamin E supposed to be healthy? I thought it said it's good for my heart and skin. And yes, you're absolutely right. Natural vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. It supports your immune system. It helps fight oxidative stress. But here's the truth that most people never hear. Not all forms of vitamin E are the same. And not all vitamin E is safe for seniors. In fact, one common form of vitamin E that's used in many over-the-counter supplements, especially those cheap multivitamins at the grocery store, could be contributing to muscle weakness, nerve damage, and poor coordination in your legs. Let's talk about it. Most vitamin bottles don't say this outright, but if you flip over the label and read the fine print, you might see something called del-alpha-tocopherol or del-alpha-tocopherol acetate. That little DL in front of the name, that means it's synthetic, it's made in a lab. It's not the same as the natural form of vitamin E, which is listed as del-alpha-tocopherol. Here sits where things get serious. Studies have shown that the synthetic version of vitamin E does not function the same way in the human body. In fact, it can disrupt your natural antioxidant balance and even interfere with your body's use of other nutrients like vitamin K, which helps with blood clotting, and even CoQ10, which supports heart and muscle health. And guess what? When you throw off that delicate balance, your neuromuscular system pays the price. That means your legs start to lose strength. Your reflexes slow down, you start to feel unsteady, wobbly, or just plain tired when you walk. You might feel numbness or tingling in your feet. You might even experience burning sensations, leg cramps, or nerve pain that keeps you up at night. And here's the kicker. Most seniors don't even suspect their vitamin is the culprit. They think it's aging. They blame arthritis or circulation or their shoes. But what if the problem is coming from inside that little pill you take every morning? Friends, your body is wise and knows the difference between something real and something artificial. Synthetic vitamin E is not well absorbed. And what's worse, It can accumulate in your fatty tissues, especially if you're taking it daily over long periods. And when that happens, the very vitamin you're taking to protect your body starts hurting you instead. Now let me explain a little deeper, because I want you to truly understand what's going on inside your body when this happens. Vitamin E, when used correctly, protects your cells from oxidative damage. That's why it's called an antioxidant. But when you flood your body with too much synthetic E, it can actually start to have the opposite effect, promoting oxidative stress instead of preventing it. That stress affects your nerves first, especially the long nerves in your legs and feet. These nerves are sensitive, and when they're inflamed or stressed, they don't communicate properly with your muscles. That's when your legs start to feel weak, unstable, or like they're not even fully under your control. This is why many seniors experience symptoms of peripheral neuropathy and don't know why. It's also why your balance suffers, your risk of falling increases, and your confidence in walking begins to fade. But here's the good news, my friend. Once you understand what's causing the problem, you can fix it. You can take back control. So what should you do? First, check your supplement label. If it says D-alpha tocopherol, that's your first red flag. That means it's synthetic, and if you're taking it daily or combining it with other sources of synthetic vitamin E, it's time to stop and reassess. Now, I'm not saying throw out all your vitamins, but I am saying this: you deserve the best, and your body deserves the most natural, absorbable, and safe forms of nutrition, especially as you age. Switch to a natural full-spectrum vitamin E if you truly need it, something that includes not only D-alpha tocopherol, but also beta-gamma and delta tocopherols and tocopherols. These are the forms found in real food, and they work together in harmony to protect your nervous system, boost circulation, and support healthy muscles. Also focus on food. Some of the best sources of natural vitamin E include sunflower seeds, almond soap, spinach, avocados, olive oil, pumpkin, broccoli. These are real living foods that your body knows exactly how to digest and use without side effects, without toxicity, and without confusion. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you questioned what was in your supplement bottle? When was the last time you looked past the marketing and read the fine print? Don't feel bad if you haven't. Most people don't, but today that changes because knowledge is power, and when you know better, you do better. You don't have to live with weak legs. You don't have to accept numbness, instability, or that uneasy feeling that something just isn't right. Your body was made to move. Your muscles were designed to lift you, carry you, and keep you strong for decades, but that won't happen if we're feeding them the wrong fuel. So take this moment to be honest with yourself. Look at your vitamins. Look at your habits, and most importantly, listen to your body. If your legs are getting weaker, if you've been feeling more unsteady lately, don't just blame age. It might be your synthetic vitamin E, and fixing that may be the key to restoring your strength. I want you to be strong. I want you to be independent. I want you to walk into each day with confidence and energy. That starts with education. That starts with making one simple change, and that change can begin today. So go ahead, check that bottle, rethink your routine, talk to your doctor, and know that I'm right here cheering you on every step of the way. Let's have a heart-to-heart. I want to talk to you today about something that's rarely discussed but vitally important to your health after 60. Now, I know many of you take supplements faithfully. Every morning you reach for your multivitamin or fish oil or that alphabet of pills lined up on the counter, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and think this is keeping me strong, keeping me young, keeping me alive. And while I love the intention behind that, I want you to know that after 60, your body changes, and with it, how you process vitamins changes too. What worked for you at 30 may not work at 60, 70, or beyond. In fact, it could be doing more harm than good. Let me explain. As we age, everything slows down. That's not a bad thing. It's just biology. Your liver, your kidneys, your gut lining, your cellular receptors, They all become less efficient. They don't metabolize nutrients the same way. They don't clear out excess the same way. And they don't absorb or regulate the same way. So when you take high doses of vitamins, especially fat-soluble ones like A, D, E, and K, or synthetic megadoses of water-soluble ones like B6 or niacin, your body may not know what to do with the overflow. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to water a plant with a fire hose. Even though water is good for the plant, too much, too fast, and the roots drown, it floods, it suffocates. That's what high-dose vitamins can do to your aging body. Your detox systems aren't what they used to be, my friends. Your liver, that hard-working filter in your upper right abdomen, starts slowing down around your late 50s and 60s. It doesn't break down synthetic compounds as easily. It stores more of them. And over time, this buildup can become toxic, particularly with vitamins like A and E, which accumulate in fatty tissue. But here's what scares me even more. Most seniors never realize this is happening. They think their fatigue is just aging. They think their dizziness, muscle weakness, tingling, or joint pain is just arthritis or getting older. But many of these symptoms are early signs of vitamin overload. Let's talk examples. Too much vitamin B6 over long periods can cause nerve damage in the hands and feet. You start feeling pins and needles, burning, numbness, and difficulty walking. Too much vitamin D, especially taken without magnesium or vitamin K2, can lead to calcium buildup in the arteries, stiff joints, and even kidney stones. Too much vitamin A weakens your bones, causes muscle aches, liver stress, and contributes to poor balance, as we talked about earlier. These effects don't come overnight. They creep in slowly, like fog rolling over a quiet street. And most seniors have no idea their beloved vitamin routine is at the root of the problem. You see, the supplement industry rarely tells you this. They sell strength in numbers. Take more, bigger doses, better results. But that's not how the human body works, especially as it ages. Your body needs balance, not excess. Let's go deeper. At age 25 or 30, your kidneys are sharp and efficient. They can flush out what your body doesn't need. But in your 60s, your glomerular filtration rate, that's the kidney's filter speed, starts to decline slowly, quietly, and without warning. So if you're taking megadoses of water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C or certain B-complex supplements, thinking your body will just pee out the excess, think again, your kidneys might not be up to the job anymore, and the excess, it lingers. It accumulates. And eventually it leads to stress on your kidneys, your nerves, or your cardiovascular system. Even your gut changes. With age, your stomach acid decreases, a condition known as hypochlorhydria. That affects how you absorb nutrients. It can actually lead to malabsorption of vitamin B12, iron, calcium, and magnesium. So what happens? You take more, you think you need more, but more isn't better if your gut can't even break it down properly. And sometimes you're absorbing the wrong forms of vitamins, synthetic, isolated, low-quality versions that may not even be recognized by your body. So what's the answer? Here it is, simple but powerful. Quality over quantity, whole food over synthetic, individual needs over blind dosing. After 60, you need to be precise with your nutrition. No more guessing. No more just take a multivitamin and hope for the best. You need to test. You need to evaluate. You need to work with a doctor, a functional medicine specialist, or a qualified nutritionist who can check your levels, your vitamin D, your B12, your magnesium, your homocysteine, your inflammation markers. Why? Because your body isn't the same body it was 20 years ago, and that's okay, but it means you need a new strategy, a customized plan, a smarter approach, a respectful understanding of what your aging body really needs, and more importantly, what it no longer tolerates. So here sits my recommendation, my friends. Avoid megadoses unless medically prescribed. Anything over 100% of the daily recommended value should raise a red flag. You may not need that much anymore. Use food-based or whole food supplements when possible. These are derived from real fruits, vegetables, and herbs, not isolated chemicals made in a lab. Read your labels, watch out for DL-minal prefixes, artificial dyes, fillers, and high-dose proprietary blends that hide the actual amounts of nutrients. Pay attention to your body. New symptoms like fatigue, leg weakness, numbness, or headaches might not be normal aging. They could be your body's cry for help. Get blood work at least once or twice a year. Know where your levels are. Then supplement only what you need, not what someone on the internet says you should take. You see, aging is a gift, but it's a gift that requires wisdom, not wishful thinking. You don't need to swallow a drawer full of pills to stay strong and vibrant. In fact, doing so without understanding what your body actually needs can be more dangerous than helpful. So today, let this be your wake-up call. Your legs aren't getting weaker because you're getting older. Your mind isn't slowing down because that's just what happens. Sometimes it's what you're putting into your body every day with good intentions, but without full knowledge. Let's change that. Let's stop overdosing on health. Let's get back to balance. Let's get back to listening to our bodies, nourishing them, and respecting the natural changes that come with aging. You're powerful, you're resilient, and you have more control over your future than you think. Let me start with something you may not expect me to say. Most people over 60 don't need more supplements, they need better nutrition. That may surprise you. We live in a world where the answer to everything seems to come in a pill. Tired, take a vitamin. Achy, take a capsule. Feeling weak, pop a supplement. But here's what most people, especially seniors, are never told: your body is designed to get nutrients from real food. Let me repeat that. Your body was built to recognize, absorb, and thrive off natural whole food sources, not synthetic, lab-made versions found in many bottles on store shelves. And that difference, my friends, is a big deal. In fact, if you're over the age of 60 and you've been taking synthetic vitamins thinking they'll restore your strength, improve your balance, or protect your legs from weakness, you may be spinning your wheels. Let me explain why. As we get older, our digestive systems change, our stomachs produce less acid, our enzyme levels decline, and the gut becomes less efficient at breaking down and absorbing nutrients, so your body becomes much more selective, even sensitive to what it can absorb. Now imagine trying to process an artificial version of a nutrient, something that was never grown in soil, never ripened in the sun, never passed through nature's process. Your body doesn't recognize it as food, it sees it as a foreign compound, and that means absorption drops, bioavailability drops, and in some cases the vitamin can even accumulate and cause harm. Now compare that to the kind of nutrition your grandparents relied on. Fresh greens from the garden, carrots pulled from the earth, fruits from trees, nuts from shells, seeds from the harvest. That's real nutrition. That's how your body wants to be fed. Why? Because whole foods come with cofactors, enzymes, fiber, minerals, and natural forms of vitamins that all work together in harmony. When you eat a spinach leaf, you're not just getting vitamin K or folate. You're getting magnesium, fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds that enhance the way your body absorbs and uses those nutrients. That synergy is powerful, and it's something no lab-made multivitamin can replicate. Take vitamin C, for example. In whole foods like oranges, bell peppers, or kiwi, you get ascorbic acid along with flavonoids, hesperidin, rutin, and quercetin. These are compounds that help your body hold on to and use that vitamin C more efficiently. But when you take a synthetic vitamin C tablet, just plain ascorbic acid, you're missing that complete nutritional picture. It's isolated, it's incomplete, and your body may not absorb it the same way. Now let's bring this back to what really matters for you: your legs, your balance, and your quality of life. When you rely on synthetic vitamins to fix muscle loss, joint pain, or fatigue, you might be covering up the symptoms without actually giving your body what it needs to heal, repair, and rebuild. But when you nourish your body with real living foods that contain food-based vitamins, you're feeding your cells, your nerves, your muscles, and your bones the way nature intended. You see, your muscles don't just need protein, they need magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, B-complex vitamins, and antioxidants to function and recover properly. Your bones need calcium, yes, but also vitamin K2, phosphorus, boron, and the right balance of collagen-building nutrients. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Studies have shown that nutrients from food-based sources are absorbed better and utilized more effectively in older adults. For example, when seniors get their vitamin E from nuts and seeds instead of supplements, they show better cellular protection and less oxidative stress. When magnesium is consumed through leafy greens, legumes, and whole grains, it's better tolerated and less likely to cause digestive side effects. And food-based vitamins don't carry the risk of overdose like synthetic ones do. You'll never overdose on folate by eating spinach. You won't get vitamin A toxicity from carrots. Your body self-regulates when nutrients come in through food. But the moment you start depending on pills, especially high-dose, low-quality ones, you risk upsetting that balance. Now don't get me wrong, there are cases where supplements are absolutely necessary. If your BS12 is low due to low stomach acid or you've had gastric surgery, you need supplementation. If you live in a northern climate with little sun, you may need a carefully dosed vitamin D3 with K2. And if your blood tests show a true deficiency, yes, it makes sense to correct it with a targeted doctor-guided approach. But that's very different from blindly taking multivitamins every day, thinking they're a magic fix, especially when they're made from synthetic ingredients your body doesn't even recognize. So what sips the solution? The solution is real food first, always. And when supplements are needed, they should be food-based, naturally derived, and used with intention, not habit. Look for supplements made from organic fruits, vegetables, herbs, or whole plants. They should say things like from whole food sources, naturally extracted, or list actual food ingredients. These kinds of products work with your body, not against it. But better yet, upgrade your plate. Start your day with a smoothie full of berries, spinach, chia seeds, and almond milk. Snack on walnuts or pumpkin seeds. Build your meals around colorful vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and lean proteins. Use herbs and spices that are rich in phytonutrients. Hydrate with lemon water or herbal teas instead of sugar-filled drinks. Every bite is information for your body. Every bite is either helping you heal or holding you back. So if you sip been struggling with leg weakness, muscle fatigue, or balance problems, and you sip already taking vitamins, stop and ask yourself, am I feeding my body or just supplementing it? Because the goal isn't just to survive, it's to thrive. It's to walk without pain, rise from a chair without effort, and enjoy your years with strength, clarity, and freedom. So that doesn't come from synthetic pills alone. It comes from feeding your body the real nutrition it craves. And remember, your body is intelligent. It wants to heal. It wants to get stronger, but it needs the right tools to do the job. Nature gave us everything we need in the form of food. Let's go back to that. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it natural. So my friends, take a look at your supplements today. Take a look at your plate and ask yourself if you're truly giving your body what it needs or just what the label says. Make the shift, choose whole food, choose nourishment, choose health. You have more control than you think. Now I want to ask you a very important question today. It might sound simple, but it holds the power to change your life. Are your legs truly getting weaker because of aging, or is something else going on inside your body that nobody ever told you about? Most people over the age of 60 believe that muscle loss, leg pain, fatigue, instability, and balance problems are just part of getting old. And while yes, our bodies do change with time, let me be very clear with you, age is not the only reason your legs are failing you. And in many cases, it's not even the main reason. There's something else, something that may be hiding in plain sight, something that most doctors won't sit check for, and something that might be sitting right there in your medicine cabinet or vitamin organizer. I'm talking about vitamin toxicity, not vitamin deficiency, but vitamin overload. That's right, the very thing you may be taking to stay strong and healthy, that daily multivitamin, that high-dose immune booster, that synthetic supplement could be the reason your legs are getting weaker by the day. Let's unpack this. When you take a vitamin or supplement, it goes into your bloodstream. From there, your body decides what to use and what to store or eliminate. But as we get older, especially after 60, that process starts to slow down. Your liver doesn't detox as efficiently. Your kidneys don't sit filter as quickly. Your cells don't sit metabolize as easily. So what happens? The extra vitamins, particularly the fat-soluble ones like A, D, E, and K, start to accumulate in your tissues. They build up slowly, silently over time, and the symptoms, they creep in gradually. You might start to notice your legs feel heavier. You just didn't walk as long without getting tired. You feel unsteady or lose balance more often. Your feet or calves cramp or tingle. You have a hard time rising from a chair or climbing stairs. And here sits the trap, you blame it on aging. Your doctor might tell you it's arthritis, neuropathy, or just normal wear and tear. But in reality, you may be dealing with vitamin toxicity, especially if you've been taking high-dose synthetic supplements for years without guidance or testing. Let's just look at a few examples. Too much vitamin A, particularly in the synthetic form like retinol palmitate, can lead to bone thinning, muscle weakness, and even neurological issues. It affects your coordination, your strength, and your body's ability to repair tissues. Excess vitamin E, especially in the DL-alpha tocopherol form, can cause nerve dysfunction, leading to symptoms that feel like peripheral neuropathy, tingling, burning, and weakness in the legs and feet. Even too much vitamin B6, which is often added to energy formulas and multivitamins, can actually damage your nerves when taken in high doses over long periods. That's right, a B vitamin, something people think of as safe, can lead to numbness and muscle loss if misused. This is serious stuff, my friends. Now here's something most people don't know. Your body often gives you signs long before things get worse, but you have to know what to look for. If your legs are getting weaker, don't just assume it's part of the natural aging process. Ask yourself, have I been taking the same supplements for years? Do I know the actual dose of each vitamin I've been taking? Have I ever had my vitamin levels tested? Are my symptoms getting worse the longer I take these pills? These are the questions that could lead you to the real cause and to the real solution. I've had patients who were on 3 or 4 supplements a day. They were taking double or even triple the recommended amounts, thinking more is better. But what they didn't know is that their liver was struggling. Their nerves were overstimulated. Their muscles were starving for balance, not more pills. The truth is, your body doesn't want more, it wants balance. And that's why food-based nutrition is so powerful, because your body knows exactly what to do with it. You can't overdose on vitamins from spinach. You won't damage your nerves by eating berries, carrots, or broccoli. Nature has built in safeguards that synthetic pills just don't have. Now, don't get me wrong, supplements can be life-changing when used properly. If you're deficient, you need to fix that. If your doctor prescribes something specific based on a test, follow that guidance. But blind supplementation, especially in high doses, can do the opposite of what you're hoping for. And when it comes to your legs, your foundation, your mobility, your freedom, you have to protect them at all costs. Because once leg weakness sets in, your confidence suffers. You start moving less. You start sitting more, your muscles shrink, your bones weaken, and before you know it, you're afraid to walk without holding on to something. But let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart. It doesn't have to be that way. If you suspect that your supplements might be doing more harm than good, here's just what I recommend. Bring all your supplements to your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them to check for overlapping vitamins, high doses, or synthetic forms. Get tested. A simple blood test can check your vitamin D, B12, folate, vitamin A, and more. Don't guess, know your levels. Focus on food first. Get your vitamins from colorful vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruits, whole grains, and healthy fats. These nourish your muscles, bones, and nerves naturally. Listen to your body. If your legs are telling you something isn't right, don't ignore it. Weakness, instability, and fatigue are not normal signs of aging. They are signals. Consider stopping or reducing certain supplements if your provider agrees. Sometimes the body heals just by removing the excess. Your body is a healing machine. It wants to restore balance. It wants to protect you. But you have to stop throwing it off course with unnecessary overload. So next time you feel that tightness in your calves, or that wobble in your step, or that heaviness in your thighs, don't say, I stopped just getting old. Say, I shouldn't get any wiser. Say, ass up's going to look deeper. Say, my legs deserve better than a guess. Because the truth is, your strength doesn't just disappear with age. Sometimes it's taken from you slowly, silently by the things you thought were helping. Let's just stop that today. Let's just get your strength back.